Our story begins with a scary-looking girl asking the MC what he was looking at and asked him why a transfer student like him joined the empty manga club. She also tells him not to talk to her. During the lunch break, he approaches her, but she calls him a friendless loser and simply leaves. Later that day, she finds out that MC is sitting right next to her in their class and asks if it can get any worse. Outside the class, she was playing with a cat and smiling cheerfully. One couldn't recognize that she is the same girl who was so rude to MC earlier that day. She was so happy with the cat that she didn't even notice the MC watching her. As soon as she saw him, she tells him not to tell anyone about this or else he is going to be dead meat. After the school was over, her and the MC had their cleaning duties. She asked him why he was giving her the pitying look and told him that she can do it herself and he can go home if he wants to. That evening they run into each other again, and it turns out that they live right next to each other. She was wearing a cute hoodie and shorts when MC brought her the greeting gift. This was the first time when she wasn't rude to him. She was very shy and told MC to erase his memory of seeing her like that, but MC called her cute, which made her blush a lot. The next morning, they run into each other while going to school. MC greets her, but she tells him that her disappointment is immeasurable and her morning is ruined. After that, she tells him not to talk to her for the rest of that day. While sitting in the cafeteria, some mean girls are talking shit about her, and one of them says that she is ugly, but the other one says that she might tell her BF to loosen her up. MC gets angry after hearing that shit talk, but she tells him that their bitching about her has nothing to do with him. Later that day, she walked out of the restroom all wet and was holding a bucket in her hand. She tells MC that it's getting annoying that they keep running into each other and also warns him to stay away from her. A bully who looks like he has been in this high school for the last 10 years grabs her and starts talking shit to MC. This infuriates the MC and he is ready to throw hands, but she tells him that this has nothing to do with him, so he should leave and go home. Later, she was sobbing and was patching his wounds that he got from fighting the bully. She asked him why he would do that from someone like her and called him a baka. The next morning, he was surprised to see her outside his apartment, but she told him not to be surprised because they live right next to each other. In school, the girls who were talking shit about her yesterday were sobbing and apologizing to her. They told her they were jealous of her because she was popular among guys. She was cool about it and acted as if she doesn't care, but asked the girls to apologize to the MC instead. They asked her if he was her boyfriend, and this made her blush. She started cursing the MC for giving them the wrong idea. Here we find out that her name is Tachibana. At home, she was kicking her feet while on the bed and was thinking about what the girls had said to her earlier that day. She called MC an idiot and told herself that she does not even likes him. She hugged her pillow while saying this, and she was blushing a lot. The next day, while going to school, she was carrying MC's bag, and he was staring at her. She was so shy that she couldn't look at him and asked him what he was looking at. Meanwhile, she also decided to talk to their girls from yesterday so that they won't start spreading rumors about them. But when she was in the class, the rumor had already spread, and everybody was talking about them dating each other. She got very embarrassed hearing all this and wanted to go home. During their break, MC approached her and told her about the rumors, but she told him that she is fine and he shouldn't worry about her. She changed the topic and asked the MC why he only eats one food item. He tells her that he's broke and can't afford anything else. Later at home, she was cooking food for MC while denying the fact that it was out of care and consideration for him. While having lunch, she told MC that he should make lunch for himself just like her because it is cheap and takes less time. Back home, she had prepared a second lunchbox for MC. She wanted to give it to him, but simply couldn't. She asked herself, is it normal to make lunch for someone whom you just met? She thought it was creepy and laid on the floor with the lunchbox. Later, her brother came home and asked her what she was doing on the floor, but she told him not to question her and leave her alone. That same evening, she rang MC's doorbell and gave him the food that she made earlier that day. But she lied to him that her mother had made all this food and told her to give it to him because she made a lot. But she told him if he didn't want it, he can throw it away. But if he was hungry, he can have it. Seeing Tachibana in her comfy clothes and her being so shy, MC was too stunned to speak, and it made him sweat a little. The next day, he came to the manga club research to give her the empty lunchbox that she had given him yesterday. MC told her that the sides she gave him yesterday were delicious, and this made her blush. She kept the lie going by telling him that he should thank her mom for the side dishes, not her. But deep down inside, she was really happy, and this made her smile. MC saw her smiling, but she got embarrassed and told him not to look at her. Back at home, she was thanking her mother for teaching her how to cook. Her brother came home and found this situation very weird. Tachibana was reading a rom-com manga in her brother's room. He got annoyed at it and asked her to read it in her own room, but she insisted on staying. Her brother asked her if she had fallen for someone because she keeps acting weird nowadays. She was baffled because she didn't expect her brother to notice it. She asked him, "Is it that obvious?" After that, she buried her head in the pillow and started kicking her feet due to embarrassment. Her brother saw that Tachibana has indeed fallen for someone, and he was happy for his sister. The next day, MC asked Tachibana for her phone number. She got flustered over it, and she asked him what was going through his mind. He politely told her the reason, and she apologized to him for making him wait daily. After that, they exchanged their phone numbers. Back at home, she kept looking at her phone not because it's the new iPhone 16 Ultra Pro Max Plus. It was because she has social skills of a 5-year-old and doesn't know how to start a conversation because she didn't had any friends. But she didn't lost hope and finally sent him a sticker. She gets really excited when MC sends her a reply and she tells it to her brother, but he just tells her to leave his room. The next day, MC thanks her for carrying his bag all these days due to his injuries, but she is so shy that she can't even look at him. But suddenly, she turns around, puts her hand on MC's cheek, and tells him that his wounds are healing very quickly. Back at home, she told her brother about this, but he found it very difficult to believe that she had found someone whom she likes. She denied it and said that if she accepted it, then all sorts of feelings will come rushing out. She said that she won't be able to hold herself back if something like that ever happened. Her mother heard all this and told her that she also wants to meet the boy in her life, but she denies it. She fell onto the sofa, closed her eyes, and processed everything that was happening around her. She told herself that she hates the MC, but later corrects herself saying that she does not really hates him. She couldn't really describe how she felt about him. A few moments later, she opened her eyes and started blushing. She realized that she totally likes him and she is simping for him really hard. Her brother sat there, watched all this, and was wondering what the heck is going on in his household. The next day, she was at the beach with MC and asked him not to look at her too much. But when she took her jacket off, she told him if he wants to look at her, then he shouldn't stare too much because it's embarrassing. After seeing the 2 milk cannons, MC was too stunned to speak, and she asked him if he wasn't going to say something. Bad news for her, because it was all her imagination and she was drawing this scenario on a page for her manga, but she accidentally dropped these pages in the hallway. MC just happened to be passing by and saw her juicy sketches on the floor. She was too embarrassed to be seen with her sketches. She told MC that she would kill him if he told anyone about these sketches. She went home and started crying over this little incident. She called herself an idiot for falling over and spilling the pages everywhere. Now that her secret has been out, she decides to do something very unexpected. The next day, she corners the MC and tells him that she has been working on a rom-com manga. She doesn't understand the normal relationship dynamics. So, for the sake of authenticity, she wants him to be her boyfriend, and she isn't going to take no for an answer. Later, she was so happy that she couldn't believe MC said yes to her. But now there was another problem. She didn't know what to do next because she had never been in a relationship before this. She musters up the courage and decides to text the MC, but it has been 30 minutes and she still hasn't come up with a proper message. After some time, she finally sends him a message and he instantly replies back to her. Seeing this, she instantly buries her head in the sofa, full of excitement and embarrassment. Next day, while going to school, both of them were quiet. But Tachibana was thinking of doing the unholy act of hand-holding. She knew she was going ahead of herself because she can't even strike up a conversation, but she just couldn't help it. Thinking of all the possible scenarios in her head, her cheeks were getting red. MC noticed this and asked her about what they should do now. She was too shy to say anything, but our MC is a practical guy, and he told her they should hold each other's hand because they are pretending to be a couple, and this is the best way for her to gather material for her manga. When she heard the MC say pretend, she was hurt but tried her best not to show him. She toughed it out in front of him and told him he was right, but she definitely took major emotional damage. Later at home, her brother told their mother that her sister has locked herself in the room and she has been crying ever since she came from school. The mother was upset, but she understood that at this age these things are normal. At school, MC approached Tachibana, but she was acting mean and asked him what he wants. He hesitated a bit, but told her that the sketches she made yesterday were amazing. He also told her that if she continues to make sketches like these, then she would become a manga illustrator in no time. He added that he would do anything to support her because he is also a member of the school manga club. She was too embarrassed to speak and asked him, how can he say such things while keeping a straight face? Back at home, she used her last to brain cells and concluded that if they are pretending to be a couple, then it means that they are already together. She was so happy with this discovery and used it as her coping mechanism. MC, like the chat he is, asks Tachibana if she would like to go shopping with him as their fake date. She couldn't believe what he was saying and asked him, isn't it too early for that? She was struggling to make a sentence after she heard the date part, so they decide to take things slow and start by holding hand. During their fake date, she was asking him all sort of questions and told him he is representing all the high school boys across the globe to her. MC panicked and asked her why is she doing this to him. When he asked her why is she hitting him with all the questions, she told him that she doesn't know anything about high school boys. He told her that he isn't anything special and she won't enjoy hearing about his interests. But she kept on pressing him and he gave in. He told her about himself and she was listening very carefully. She was enjoying their conversation, but suddenly she turns around and started blushing. She noticed that she is really into him and they ended their date shortly after that. When she reached home, she couldn't believe that she actually held hands with the MC. She asks herself, what's wrong with me? She decides that, from now on, she isn't going to wash her left hand because this is the hand that MC was holding. That night, she sat right next to her brother and told him, wasn't it time that MC realized that she likes him? Her brother, on the other hand, gave her a reality check and told her that no matter which angle you look at it, she is the one who can't communicate properly to him. He further added that if he was in MC's place, he would have kept his distance from her and wouldn't even touch her. But he also told her that she has a nice face, so it might end up working in her favor. The next day at school, she saw the MC and decided to talk to him. She mustered up the courage and started walking in his direction, but she saw another girl talking to him. The girl asked the MC about his relationship with Tachibana, and he confirmed that it was a fake relationship. She was hurt when MC said that and decided not to talk to him. But when she was going back, she heard the girl saying bad things about her and heard the MC agreeing with her sentiment. That girl was flirting with MC and asked him to leave Tachibana so he can hang out with her instead. Hearing this, Tachibana was hurt and left immediately. Back at home, she was sitting on the sofa. Her brother saw it and knew that something was wrong with her sister's mood. Being a good brother, he asked her if she wants to talk about her troubles. Hearing this, she almost started crying and told him that her first love ended before it even began. Hearing this, her brother, like the chat he is, couldn't care less about it. The following day, she told the MC not to talk to her. He was confused and asked her if something was wrong. She recalled every single thing that the girl from yesterday said about her, and for the first time it looked like she was going to talk like a normal person. Like Linkin Park, in the end it didn't even matter because she ran away from MC without saying anything and told him to stay away from her. At home, she was crying while lying on the sofa and asked herself why she is always like this. Her brother and mother were worried about her, but suddenly Tachibana's father came home. He asked his wife what was going on. His wife started crying. Meanwhile, his son facepalmed himself and wondered what the heck is going on in here. Next day, when she came back from school, her mother was standing with the MC and asked her if he is the right guy or not. Upon confirmation, she told her that his parents were out of town and he lost his apartment keys, so he'll be staying with them for a few days. MC, being the humble guy he is, told them that they don't need to worry about him and he can stay in a net cafe. But Tachibana's mother interrupted him and told him that they were neighbors, so it was her duty to help him in this tough time. She also added that MC has been taking care of her daughter, so it's the least she can do. Her son was watching all this and told his mother that she really needs to get her personal space system checked because he thinks it's bugged. Meanwhile, he noticed that his sister was frozen like Elsa, and she couldn't believe her eyes right now. After that whole situation, she took a shower to calm herself down. When she came out, she was wearing a crop top and shorts. She told the MC that the bathroom was free and he can take a shower if he wants to. But our guy was too shocked to speak after seeing her like this. She asked what's wrong with him, and he told her that he could see her assets from the clothes she was wearing. Seeing how uncomfortable he was, she started to take off her crop top in front of him. MC got embarrassed and asked her what the heck she was doing. Her brother walked in and told her to stop embarrassing herself in front of him. Later, he told her that she is a totally different person at home. She asked him if he had a problem with it or something, but he got scared and said no. She assured him that she was joking and told him that she acts that way at home because she can be herself here and no one judges her. She told him that she feels like an idiot and she is stubborn. She always says things without even thinking. That is why she wanted to apologize to the MC for her rude behavior towards him. The Chad MC told her that there was no need to apologize and there was no bitterness between them. Tachibana's mother and brother got the front row tickets of the homemade live soap opera, and they were enjoying it very much. The next day, she very awkwardly greeted the MC. She asked him about the shopping date idea that he had proposed a few days earlier and asked him if he was down for that. He remembered it and was instantly ready to execute the date plan. She couldn't believe her ears and was glad that he was ready for the date. As usual, she couldn't speak to him properly after that and told MC that she would drop him a text when she reaches home. Overjoyed with her victory, she told her brother that she had finally done it. She asked him what she should do next, but her brother couldn't care less about it. He kept a straight Sigma face throughout this entire interaction. Suddenly, she found herself in the Delulu land and started wondering what if this date turned into a real date. But her brother was there to give her a reality check. He also told her that she shouldn't get carried away with her emotions because she might end up doing something stupid, and if she did that, the MC might dump her like a garbage bag in the dumpster. She took emotional damage of over 9,000 and asked him, why would he say something like that to her sister? But she went back to her brother and asked him to help her, but he told her to stay away from him. She ran to her mother and asked her about the first date. She had a lot of questions like what she should wear on a first date, how she should act in front of him. Since it was her first date, the tension was very high, but her mother told her that she is cute, so she can always use her looks to her advantage. On the day of their date, he arrived a little early thinking that he would be the first to arrive at the pickup point, but to his surprise, Tachibana was already there. She was looking so kawaii that the MC couldn't even believe that it was the same girl who used to speak so rudely to him. He finally told her that she was looking very cute. This compliment made her blush, but MC thought that he had said something very cliché. After hearing those words, her face turned into a red balloon. MC asked her if she was okay, but she was lost in her own world and couldn't say anything. When they started walking, she was really quiet. MC wondered if she was in a bad mood because of something he said. First, they went to a manga shop and MC noticed that Tachibana was getting less talkative as the date went on. He asked her if she liked the new volume of the rom-com manga that came out. She couldn't speak because she was internally screaming about the fact that they were holding hands like a couple all day long. She started blushing and thought to herself that it was the best thing that could happen to her on this date. On one hand, Tachibana was very proud of herself for putting in the effort for her first date, but on the other hand, MC was thinking that she was mad because they haven't done any couple activities on the date. Tachibana noticed that she hasn't spoken much during their date. It was because she was very happy and nervous at the same time to speak. She was wondering why MC wasn't getting sick of her for acting like this. This was the moment she knew that she genuinely loved the MC, and she couldn't deny it any longer. By the end of their date, MC told her that he had a blast and enjoyed every single moment of the date. He also told her that he enjoyed her company. But then in a moment of vulnerability, he told her that he didn't know if he did a good job of playing her boyfriend as it was his first time doing it. Surprisingly, Tachibana held his shirt and told him that she also had a good time with him. She added that there was something that she needed to tell him. She told him that she never understood why he would stick around for someone with attitude like her. She finally said that she was never able to say it before, but she actually wanted him for a long time. She thanked him for putting up with someone like her because it was not easy to deal with her odd behavior. Before she could say anything else, MC, like the chat he is, held her in his arms and told her what's up with the face she was making. She couldn't believe what was going on and got embarrassed. She told him what the heck he was doing. MC told Tachibana that she has always been so hard on herself. Sure, she may have a few clumsy moments, but that did not mean that she wasn't enough. MC told her that she always had a strong sense of responsibility, and he knew that she was a good person despite her awkward behavior. He also told her that a lot of the stuff that happened between them was due to coincidence. But that wasn't enough for him to leave her alone. He also told her that she was bad at hiding her emotions because she had a terrible poker face. He told her that from now on, he wanted to be with her and told her that he loves her. After that, he asked her to go out with him and be his girlfriend. She couldn't believe what was happening and was very happy that MC asked her out, so she instantly said yes. After that emotional roller coaster, things got awkward between them and they couldn't speak to each other because of the embarrassment. Before they even realized it, they were at the entrance of the Tachibana's apartment. But it was clear that both of them wanted to stay together. He wanted to end their date on a high note, but before he could even do anything, Tachibana held his face in her hands and kissed him on the lips. After that kiss, she told the MC that there was still something that she hasn't made clear. She told him that she was very nervous, but she will say it anyways. MC couldn't believe his ears when he heard the words,
"I love you too, a lot,"
from Tachibana's mouth. Before he could respond, she ran to her apartment because she was embarrassed to face him after saying those words. Meanwhile, MC was just standing there because it was cuteness overload for him.